Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to give you the lowdown on what the problem was with his drone. So, had a lot of good suggestions, and I checked on pretty much every single one of those to evaluate to see if any one of those things was the problem. And several of you guys were pretty close with what the issue was. Nobody nailed it exactly, which I didn't expect. You know, that would have been just pure luck if you did. So, and it wasn't just one thing, it was actually like 3 different things, maybe 4 things that all contributed to the problem. So the general consensus was a magnet or something wrong with the motor, bearing or shaft or something like that. All the motors are fine. No bearings missing, no bearings loose. Bearings, no magnets missing, no magnets loose. Bearings are all in good shape. Motors are all fine. Probably one of the other suggestions was a loose prop or something wrong with the prop. That was actually pretty close to it. That was part of the problem. Wasn't a prop that was loose, but there was some damage to one of the props that wasn't real visible. In other words, the prop was kind of causing some shakes, like it had softened up or something, I guess, from bending or something. I don't know. Anyways, that was part of the problem, but that didn't fix it. Replaced the props, problem was still there, but not quite as pronounced. So that did help. So check the frame over. Frame was all good, no damage there. That was another suggestion. No damage to the flight controller. But that was another one that was kind of close. So and no damage to the standoffs on the flight controller. But those were actually pretty close to problem number 2, which was that there was a nut that was missing from the flight controller. So I used like long steel screws up through there, nylon nuts. And one of the nuts was missing, and the other 3 were all loose. So the flight controller was way too soft bound. So that was another problem. Fixed that, and that pretty much took care of most of the problem. There was one other little thing that I did. Well, 2 other things that I did. So one, there was a prop strike on one of the motor wires, and so it had been kind of frayed a little bit. So I think that might have been contributing a little bit to part of the problem. So cut that wire, trimmed the ends there, resoldered that, and that's all good now. So I tested it this morning, and everything was flying good. The only problem was I had all kinds of noise in my video. So I added a cap on there, if you can see it or not. Let me see if I can get it zoomed in there. Yeah, there's a little cap there. It's a 470 and 35 volt. So I added that on there, and that took care of all the video noise. And then when I was flying around earlier today, it was a little touchy flying through here, flying through this tight proximity. So I decided to try to play around with adjusting the throttle endpoint so that I can tweak that. So I've got that now on a knob on the transmitter, and I can adjust how much throttle I allow the endpoint to be. So that kind of scales it back down, so I can tweak that. And so that's what I did, and that's what I've done testing there. So I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of the footage here up into my crash, and it's still fine after that. I just knocked the battery loose. The strap actually broke, so I've got to replace the strap. And anybody got any tips on like rerunning these without taking the top plate off? Because man, I have the hardest time trying to run that. It's a tight fit in there. See that? It's hard to make that turn to get it through there. To get through there and then get it back up on the other side. That's a little bit of a pain without taking the top plate off. I guess that's about the only thing you can do. Anyway, so I'll leave you guys with some footage, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And if you want any more details on it, just let me know, and I'll do another video on anything you want to know a little bit more about. If it's about the throttle endpoint or what I did exactly on here, I'll be happy to do that. So again, thank you guys for all of the suggestions. Those were all great, and they gave me kind of some ideas on what to look for, and definitely things to look for in the future if I have similar problems. So you guys have a great day. Go out, fly some, go be inspiring people, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.